Hello, my dear students. Welcome to the science class. We are studying now a very interesting chapter, and by seeing this figure, these pictures, you can easily understand this picture. This chapter which we are studying is about the animal life. Okay, yeah, it's very good. Animal life, that is, it says about the different habit and habitats and characteristics of the animals, although they all belong to the category of animal, but they have such a very various forms of structures and characteristics which we will learn in this chapter. So today we will learn that how the animals get their food. Yesterday we had discussed about the feeding pattern of animals like herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous, what are the types of animals, and today we will learn about the pattern by which they consume the food. So let's proceed. You can see here, this is a technique by which the frogs take the food. You can see they have a sticky tongue. So they, if there is insect there, they are protruding their tongue, and insect is, once it is being captured or the by the sticky tongue, insect are not being able to move anywhere or go away, and then the frog takes up that insect into its mouth. So it is said that the frog shoots out its tongue when it wants to catch the prey. Now the frog wants to catch the prey, so it has shooted out his tongue, and then it folds its back. You can see, but when does it fold back? When insect sits on it, and then the frog intend to take the insect in the mouth. So this process he employs, or it employs this process. So by this manner we can say lizard and frogs, they eat insect. So what happens, they have a long and sticky tongue. Long means elongated, you can see in the picture, and also sticky. If you can see the appearance, if you can see it here, it is zoomed and you can see it very nicely. See the pattern of it they are having, sorry, the pattern of tongue they are having, it is totally sticky. Where insect once gets attached to it, it sticks onto the tongue, and the frog pulls it back. Okay, so this is the manner by which it can take the insect. And at the same time, the lizard also, they also have the sticky tongue, due to which they can pull back the insect. Here I can show you another sticky tongue of a lizard, that is the chameleon or chameleon, you know very better. So their tongue is sticky, and they are also taking the insect in this manner only. In the same manner they are taking the insect, or they are swallowing the insect. So here you can see both of them are using the tongue in a very peculiar manner. And one peculiarity of their tongue is that this frog, they have the attachment of the tongue in the frontal portion. For us, we can see tongue is attached at the back and frontal portion is opened. But for them, the tongue is attached in the frontal portion, so that it can shoot out the tongue and can take the insect. Similarity we can see in case of the lizard also. They also attract their prey, and they also catch the insect by this same manner. Next, we are coming into the word of or about the butterflies. Butterfly has got another very peculiar structure. Let me show you what is this. This is the structure or a long tube structure which is called as the proboscis. This helping the butterfly to suck the nectar from the flower. Okay, so this is helping the butterfly to suck the nectar from flower. Nectar means honey. If you can zoom the picture, you can see it here. See, this is the long proboscis by which it is secreting the nectar or the honey. Or you can see here also, this is the structure of the proboscis. See, it is the coiled tube which is after coiling, it is present here. And when they sit on the flower, they open the coil and the proboscis comes into the flower, takes the nectar, and then it pulls back its proboscis. So, by the application of the proboscis, they can collect the nectar or they can collect the honey. They means we are talking about the butterfly here. Okay, so here also you can see that is the that is a coiled tube or the proboscis which is filled up with the nectar. Here you can see the proboscis which is filled up with the nectar, and they can take the after collection of the nectar they can pull it back. Even here also you can see the same manner. Okay, so butterfly uses proboscis to collect the nectar. Now I will show you a very common picture. See, mosquito uses its 6 needles to suck the blood. How? Here you can see these are the 6 needles which are present in the mosquito. You can see it here. Okay, needle like structure. Needles means they don't have the needle, but the needle this structures is called the needle of the mosquito because they appear like needle. So they are pricking, they are taking the blood, and that is how they are fulfilling their demand for food. Okay, here also you can see this is the same manner. They are taking or pricking or sucking the blood, and in this action these 6 needle like appendages, 3 pairs of appendages they have. All of these appendages are helping them in this process. Here also you can see this is the proboscis or this is the antenna which is present and the frontal part. They help to take the blood or help to suck the blood. If you can see, this is the exact scenario what happens. The 6 legs or say 6 needles are helping them in the process, but main blood is sucked by this. Okay, so we can see it from here, we can tell it from here that with the use of its 6 needles, mosquito sucks the blood, and then there it is the long straight tube which is there in the body of the mosquito which is helping them to suck the blood. Next, coming to the birds. Now birds have the beaks to catch and pick their food. Okay, but here is a very interesting thing you got to know about these birds is that the beaks are there for the birds which is in relation to the type of food it takes. So accordingly its big structure is like that only. In this context we can give some examples, like the birds who are taking only the only the seeds, that is the sparrow. They have a short and strong beak. If you can see, they have a short and strong beak. Why this type of beak? Because this type of beak is there to crush the seed, because they only survive on seed. This bird, you can see, these are taking the fruit, so accordingly their beak is like that. Even this bird, you can see, they are taking the twigs, so obviously their beaks will be like that. See this bird, they are taking the fish. So their beak pattern is also like that. Here you can see another bird which is eating the fruit and the seed by the manner which allows it to have this kind of long beak, which is allowing them to take the food. So from here we can say the size and the shape of the beak actually depends on the kind of the food that they eat. So as I had told you about the sparrow, you see their beak pattern is like this because they are eating the seeds or crushing the seed. Here also you can see their beak. Another thing which you can know about it, this is the beak structure. By seeing this, you can see, you can predict the food habit that the birds have. Okay, so now also you can see this is the sparrow and how their beak structure. This beak structure is definitely for crushing of the seeds. Okay, now we can talk about the birds which are predator. Okay, they have a hooked beak to tear the flesh of their prey. Prey means which they are going to hunt. Okay, so these birds, if you can see the picture of these birds, this beak, it's typically claw like. That means it is a sharp edged knife like teeth which is helping these birds to tear the flesh. Even you can see the eyesight. These birds need to have a very strong eyesight so that they can locate their prey. And similarly, so we can see these birds having a peculiar type of beak to take the flesh. Here you can see this is another bird which is hunting bird. They have a eyesight which allows them to locate the prey as well as the beaks which is allowing them to tear off the flesh. You can see another bird, another type of bird. All are hunting bird. All of their occupation or medium of taking food is hunting. So all of them are having this type of beak. If you can notice, more or less all the beaks are like claws because they do the same purpose, which is the tearing of flesh. Okay, so all of them, more or less, there can be little bit of difference in their beak structure according to the food they take, but majority, or rather to be said, all of them are performing the same function. And as for performances of the same function, that is tearing of flesh, more or less everybody is having same kind of beak structure with same kind of eyesight, that is very sharp eyesight, which is allowing them to take the or locate the prey and also take the flesh. Okay, so see, this is the beak of duck. Very good. Now why this kind of beak are present in the duck? Because they have, the ducks obviously have broad and it's a scooping type of a beak, because their beak is used to scoop out the food from the mud. Okay, the food is mixed with the mud which they need to scoop out. Okay, for that reason they have this kind of beaks in their structure. This is the characteristic which is found in case of the duck. Let us discuss about some other type of beak, that is, this is also a very characteristic beak of woodpecker. Now what is the main intention of woodpecker is to hunt the insects which is present in the stem of the tree. For that they need to scoop out these branches, these trees, the stem of the trees. So obviously their beak has to be strong, rather to be said very strong and long, so that they can scoop out the branches. Okay, and also their beak is the straight one, so that it helps to dig the bark of the trees. Even you can see this is the picture of the beak of woodpecker, this is the structure. You can see how they are using their long, straight, and sharp and hard beak to scoop out the structure from the tree. Here you can see, and insect is coming from it and they are taking the insect. Okay, so this is the basic purpose of their this kind of beak, which is allowing them to take the insects from the stem of the trees. That is why their beak is straight, sharp, and at the same time it is very much strong. Okay, so in this topic we had seen that different animals have different beak pattern, and obviously the beaks of these animals are it is dependent upon the type or the nature of the food they consume. Hope you had understood this entire topic which I taught today. Next day, we will start with the locomotion in animals. Till then, all of you stay safe. Thank you.